Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to 7.3.3 Paradox Paths. The first one today we're going to do is going to be Entropic Burn, Quantum Entangle with Spite. So there are going to be four different nodes here. The first one is going to be Paradox Buff. So whenever as an attacker you gain a buff, you will also gain one Paradox charge. And they are cross-fight abilities and they can be carried over to different fights. So it's encouraged to bring in a champion and use it for more than one fight. So you can do 3-4 fights with one champion as well. Now, Entropic Burn is the last hit of an attacker's special attack with burn 15% power of the opponent depending on how many paradox charges you have. If you have more than for every paradox charge, 15% of their max power will be removed. So if you have 4 to 5, then 60% of the power will be burned right away. And if you use a parry, then one of the charges will be removed. Quantum Entangle is the attacker will suffer 100% ability accuracy reduction, so you will not be able to parry unless you have at least three paradox charges on the opponent. And Spite is whenever you will have a buff on you, the opponent will keep gaining power until that buff is removed. So right off the bat, do not bring in any cosmic champions. The whole idea is to use champions that do not have buffs on them, and you can activate buffs on your will. So the best ones were going to be champs with armor ups, preferably tech champions, because tech champions have less buffs on them. You can still control the paradox and keep it between 3 and 8. Other than that, science champions will work really well here. They will have the natural class advantage, and they will also have petrify against the mystic opponents. And finally, some of the mystic champions will also work that have power control with them. Now the masteries are going to be again quite straightforward. I'm going to do it without the suicides one, so my defense and my utility is the same no matter what setup I run. And for this one I'm going to run attack setup with non-suicides. Now before we jump into the part guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications and leave a comment down below. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps me grow the channel. So let's jump right into the part guys, and the first fight is going to be against a Namor. Now with Namor, do not use damage over time champion, because if he has any dots on him and he tries to hit you, that is going to transfer those dots to you for a second because of his sig ability, and that will also give you damage. Now I'm going to use a Star-Lord here, so what I'm trying to do, I'm going to stay away, let him come to his specials and keep throwing those specials, and I'm going to retaliate after them. Now naturally I have a Fury on Star-Lord that is very controllable, and because of that I will get to 3 paradox charges. Once I'm up there, I don't need to worry about the power gain. I can just spam my SP1 or SP2 and power drain him just like that because of the Entropic Burn node. Now again, the only thing now I need to take care about is not to let those paradox charges go above 8. At 9, if I don't, then the paradox cycle breaks and it detonates and gives me a lot of damage. So yeah, that's about it. All the difficult part will be to building up those charges to 3 to 4. And once you have that, then you can even use parry and you can go for it. Right now I went below 3, now I cannot parry, so I'm waiting for the Fury. Just right there it popped up, I'm back up to 3. So you just need to oscillate between 3 to 8 paradox charges, and because Star-Lord does a lot of damage over time if you don't get hit because of compounding damage, he will make short work of this fight. You can use other champions as well, a lot of them are available, preferably tech champions, because tech champions will have power control as well, and you can also they also don't take much buffs on them, and you can also easily control the power from the Imperious Rex. You just noticed he got 3 bars of power and I threw an SP1 and all of the power was taken away because I had 6 paradox charges and I burned 15% bar of power, 15% bar of power for every paradox charge I had, and he went to 0 power, and the Imperious Rex was not effective at all. Next defender is going to be a Mangog. Now he can be a little bit annoying because of his SP2s, does a lot of damage if you try to evade it. So what I would suggest you to is to bring in a science champion who has petrify, and you can control his power. As I'm using human torch here, so the SP2 will give me more smolders and more temperature, so that is better for me. So what I'm trying to do is to slowly build up to more than 3 charges, and then I'm gonna spam my SP1. That will keep him power burn, so I don't have to worry about his special 1 or special 2 at all. So just I'm gonna keep blocking him, I'm gonna parry him and try to build up to an SP1 before him, and then that's about it. Just keep throwing my specials, keep him below 1 or 2 bar of power, and all of those Nova Flames because I am running the pre-fight ability with Human Torch, will take care of him. You can also use other champions. If you look on the right of the screen, Mr. Fantastic is really good if you have it a rank 3 or a rank 2 even. You can start with so many debuffs and you can control the power. You can also bring in your Gilly 2099, and you can also use She-Hulk, but although She-Hulk I wouldn't advise, would be a longer fight, but that's an option, it's there. Void and Mr. Negative with the Petra will also be a good option. So it's entirely your choice guys who you want to bring in. I would suggest you compounding damage champions or champions that have some extra advantage against Mystic or Tech champions. So for example, in my case, Human Torch with all of those Nova Flames does a lot of damage to Mystic champions, so that is very helpful. Now this next fight is going to be against a Havok. Now this is going to be a little tedious fight because apart from the paradox and everything else, you have to also take care about the plasma charge that is going to have on him. So I would suggest you to bring in a tech champion that has an armor up, so you don't need to worry about anything at all and you can just keep going regularly through the fight. One thing I would suggest, to use a champion who already has paradox built up from the previous fights, from fight 1 or fight 2, so you don't have to go through the first um, um, stage of building up your charges with dexterity or other buffs on you. You can just simply just go in and start fighting normally. So it would be great if you can bring in a champion that has already acquired and have the carry over from the last fight on the paradox charges. Now you will notice I've also mentioned Mr. Fantastic here because his debuffs do a lot of damage, and because if you spam the SP1 and you will have those paradox on you, the entropic burn will drain all the power from Havok, so you don't really need somebody with armor up to negate the plasma detonate, but it's good to bring in somebody that has that, so you just have a double secure and you don't lose a champion. The next fight is going to be against a Hood. Now, Hood is also a very easy champion to deal with, but again, because we have Spite here and he might get pushed to an SP2, that is going to make it difficult. So try not to get him pushed to an SP2. Again, advisable would be to bring a champion, just in my case, who has already built up those paradox charges. So I've started stalled out with 5 of them, now up to 7. So now after the power dream, I'm going to use some parries so I can reduce the paradox charges to down to 4, and then I'm going to go start hitting again. So it's very important to manage your paradox charges and keep an eye on that, otherwise that your damage you get is quite a lot and it might take out your champion as well. So right here, trying to parry, I've brought it down to 5, and now I am comfortable. I can start hitting into him without worrying about anything. But then keep an eye, they build up very fast. So again, just only keep him to an SP1, do not push him to an SP2, and bring a champion that you can easily spam your specials on, and you can remove those power from the opponent so he does not throw any specials, and it becomes a simple, easy physical fight. The next defender is probably the most annoying one, because after his buff he is really annoying to deal with. Now there are several champions you can deal with. You can go with the path of incinerate immune champions, so like anti-venom for example. You can also use void here. There's a plenty of incinerate immune champions, you can go with that. One quick note, do not use any energy champion even if he is incinerate immune, otherwise Bishop will return you energy damage and kill you off. The biggest example is going to be your Human Torch. Although Human Torch will not take damage from the incinerate that will be returned to him from Bishop, but the energy damage will kill him off very quick. So just be careful with that. I would suggest to bring in tech champions that have more physical attack and you can easily burn power. So Guillotine 2099 with their SP1, Vision with his SP1. You can also use Warlock with his SP1, Anti-Venom with his Petrify, and also Void with his Petrify. Another great option here, if you want to run the whole path with a Ghost, that can also work. You can bring in, so you can run the whole path with Ghost as well. You can bring in Ghost with Hood synergy and you can bypass the L3, so that is also another way to go. You can also bring in Quake and do that as well, but you will need to like really play really well with Quake, but those are the difficult options, but again it can be done. So plenty of options for Bishop, so I hope that helps and you can take him down with rather ease. Do not push him past 2 bars of power, so otherwise he will start giving you that nasty damage from Incinerate. Just keep him below to SP1 and you would be okay, and the Entropic Burn will help you keep check on the power. Now the last fight is going to be against the Dragon Man. Now Dragon Man on himself is not really difficult. I am just using She-Hulk, which in hindsight I should not have used, but I just wanted to use many different champions to show you guys. So all I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to build 3 paradox charges. So once I have them, now I know I can easily parry. But remember, parry will remove 1 paradox charge, so you need to have at least 4 to 5 build up before you start going in. Now you don't need to worry about the power gain as long as you have a special with you. You will notice here at one point Dragonman does go to an SP3 after I throw an SP3. I do not have any bars of power, but I just keep hitting him and then I can get power drain him. So it's all about maintaining that power drain, maintaining that SP1 as soon as you get it, and you can bring down Dragonman or any other champion in this path very easily. She-Hulk is not a good option because you are power draining the opponent and he won't be able to build much to help you maintain those furies, so I would not suggest that. But again, she is an option if you don't have anybody else. Apart from them, Venom, Red Hulk, Mr. Fantastic, Anti-Venom, all are good options who can keep debuffs on the Dragon Man and keep him from gaining so much power and also damage him at the same time and bypass the spite node. The boss fight is going to be against the Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. Now he's going to have Aggression Fury, so if you do not hit him every 2 seconds, he's going to gain a Fury that will increase his damage by 50% per stack. Next one is going to be a Mix Master, so if you use the same kind of basic attack twice in a row, he's going to guaranteed miss. And apart from that, there's going to be like water, so if you give him a non-damaging debuff that includes a parry, that includes a petrify, all of these kinds of debuffs is going to go unblockable. And heavy assault is the heavy attacks of the opponents and defenders do extra damage 500%. So it'd be good to bring in a champion that works on a heavy attack. So for example Magneto, for example your Colossus, your Archangel. But remember to bring white max energy with them, because with white max energy the stun that becomes passive on the parry and does not count as a non-damaging debuff, so he will not go unblockable. Otherwise he will go unblockable and you will have to either stay back and run out the timer and then go back attacking, or you have to bring in a champion that can counter that. Now, having said that, it's easier to bring in White Magneto and any champ that relies on his heavy attack. So Magneto, Archangel, Captain America, Infinity War, all of those champions. If you don't have that, then I would suggest you the best options will be either Venom, Red Goblin, or Anti-Venom, because all of them stop the spiders from evading. So I am going to use a Venom, and I'm just trying to play a no parry style, and I am always trying to push him to an SP1, and when he does throw that, then I go back in and hit him. Just be careful that when he will throw a heavy attack, he will be unstoppable, so just don't go charging in trying to intercept. Just wait for it to go. His animation is long enough to give you enough time to go back and retaliate. So with Venom, I don't need to worry about the Mixmaster because he cannot evade, and I don't need to worry about Spider-Man his own evade, so that is also covered. Now Be Like Water, I am not gonna parry him, so I'm just gonna keep pushing him to the wall and keeping him giving SP1, so I will only retaliate after the special, so I can deal with that as well. Then Aggression Fury is always I'll have an opening and I will take away all of those furies. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and you find this helpful and you can take down the boss on your own. If you're looking for another boss fight that is going to be with the Spider-Man stealth suit, check out the easy path video, it's there as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot, and leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. And apart from that, I hope you all have an amazing day and I'll see you next time.